Okay, perfect. So Maida, so you're connected, I believe from Bilbao, right?
No, from
You're
San Sebastian.
San Sebastian.
Yes.
Okay. So both are very nice. Advisable to. So we would like to be there.
I,
So it's beautiful place. So Maider is working together with Sony, supervising from the Universidad Complutense de Madrid, and is working in the framework of the research we are carrying out together. So here is Sonia, the supervisor, and Maider is going to present this analysis of graphic materials as a communication tool in libraries. Thank you very much, Maider. So you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Thank you for having me in this workshop. So, as you said, I am working on a project, my master's final project. Before I begin, I like to mention that this is a project that is still in progress. So the final results are going to be broader and more precise once it is completed. What I will talk today is about the work I have developed so far. Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yes.
I have problems on. No, yes. So, because my project focuses on public libraries, I would like to begin this presentation by quoting a passage from the IFLA UNESCO Public Library Manifesto, which states that the public library provides publicly accessible space for the production of knowledge, sharing and exchange of information and culture, and the promotion of civic engagement. Thus, in this context, the documents that public library produce for the user should also consider this principle of accessibility, right? Now, at first glance, would you consider these documents accessible? Oh, yeah. And these documents accessible, as we can see, there are cases where some basic design principles are not applied in the document, or there is too much information to process inside the documents. So it makes the information inside them less legible and less effective in communicating information. This is especially important for public libraries since they serve a very broad and diverse audience. Therefore, this project aims to critically analyze the graphic materials that public libraries produce in order to identify and explain where the design problems occur, and to examine through an experiment approach the capacity of graphic design to transmit information effectively. Now, okay, so for this project, I address the following objectives. The general objective that is to analyze the effectiveness of library graphic materials in transmitting information, and the specific objectives, which are the first one, to identify basic design principles that make a document accessible, and the second, to analyze users' perception of library graphic materials. Okay, so before I begin talking about my findings, I would like to provide a little bit of context about this topic. So my project is closely related to the plain language movement, which is a movement that promotes the use of clear and accessible language in public administration. In their book, The Right to Understand from 2020, Montoliu and Tascon argue that while this movement is essential, it is also insufficient. They point out that for true clarity in communication also depends visual and structural elements such as design, text composition, images, typography, and infographics. Gutierrez similarly notes that visual language is a key component of clear communication, as it improves legibility and comprehension. He also emphasizes that infographics, which are a visual representation of information and data, play a significant role in presenting content clearly and concisely. Regarding infographics, there are two recent studies that are particularly relevant. The first one, made in 2021, studied infographics in the healthcare context and found that users located information quickly and have a more positive impact around them, although design principles had little impact on memorability. The second study, made in 2022, that studied infographics in educational context, also found that they did not significantly increase information retention, but they did improve users' perception of clarity, speed, and attractiveness. As they concluded, the creation of infographics is not strictly necessary, but can be worthwhile when the goal is to help users connect with information quickly and easily. So my project, the core of this project, is an experiment based on a survey designed to study people's perception and comprehension of visual documents in libraries. The process included the following steps. First, the selection of design principles to evaluate graphic materials. These principles were organized into 4 categories: color, typography, hierarchy, and consistency. In total, there are 22 principles. Second, collection of real graphic documents from Spanish libraries websites, mainly brochures, posters, informative images, and infographics. Third, evaluation of these documents based on the principles and scoring each one from 1 to 5. Then a selection of some of these documents for the experiment and the creation of improved versions based on the principles. And finally, the design of the survey, which presents 2 documents to participants. One that is based on the evaluation considered regular, and the other one that was improved. So the survey has this structure. First, participants are showed one of the 2 documents and have to answer some information finding questions to see how easily they locate information inside the document. Then they have to answer some perception questions, which include 3 Likert scale questions and 3 word association questions, where they choose descriptive terms for each document. Then the same set of questions is repeated for the second document. And finally, there are some memory questions around the information inside the document to see if they can recall the information. So these are the preliminary results I have gathered so far. For the evaluation of graphic materials, for the moment, I have collected 126 visual documents, and I analyzed 91 of them. In doing so, I made sure to include materials from libraries across all Spanish regions to ensure a representative overview. The average evaluation indicates that most documents are generally well designed, although there are some exceptions like the ones I showed earlier. Overall, posters tend to achieve higher scores, while brochures often face issues related to hierarchy and cognitive overload. This happens when there is too much information inside a document, inside one specific area inside the document. They also lack a typographic emphasis, such as bolding key terms, which is crucial for a clear and accessible message. In the survey results, in the information finding questions, participants located information correctly in both documents. There was only one wrong answer registered and was found in the regular document. For the perception part, in the Likert questions, responses for the regular version range between 2 to 5, while for the improved version, the scores range between 3 to 5. However, in attractiveness, there was a similar range registered in both versions from 2 to 5. For the word association part, in the improved version, no participant selected the option difficult to use. In the regular version, more participants chose the words boring and unpleasant. And in both documents, the most frequently chosen words were balanced, useful, and informative. And finally, for the memory part, both versions showed a similar number of correct and incorrect answers. So to sum up, these findings suggest that applying design principles to graphic materials of libraries improve users' perception, especially in terms of clarity and usability. Participants described the improved version as easier to use and more pleasant, while the regular version was more often perceived as boring and less engaging. Although both versions were considered informative and balanced, the redesigned documents was clearly received more positively. In short, effective design does not necessarily increase information retention, but it does make communication clearer, more engaging, and more inclusive for all users. That was all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm glad to hear any questions.
So thank you very much, Maider, for the interesting presentation. So you want to make any comment, any question? Something?
Maider, do you have any plan to continue this work in?
Did you hear? I think in principle the microphone should be good.
Yes.
But
If I plan to continue this work,
Yes. What is the next steps for you?
So I plan to run the survey in more people in a large scale and to gather more information about it and to continue evaluating more documents, of course.
Do you want to do a test with us now? Maybe with the poster or what kind of information? Only visual? Maybe?
I don't know, like show documents. I don't know how I will do it.
you mean the poster of the seminar of the workshop?
No, maybe the poster of the workshop.
It could be of the
why
workshop.
Okay.
To what? What do you want? Like, what do I do? I'm a bit lost.
Jose Maria said that maybe you can analyze the poster of the workshop.
Okay. Yes. Well, at first glance, I see this has a very good contrast of colors. It has very in big letters the title, so you can see clearly what it's about. Also, there's some keywords in another color for important information, such as the location, and I think it is a very good designed poster because also the typography is good, is understandable, and it's very nice.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much also from the side of the people who has been working in the poster. Okay, so I think the next